So I'm here to tell you why you're gonna fall in love with this little girl named Nayuta. But before we get into that, make sure you leave a like on this video, subscribe down below, and hit that notification bell so that you can get notified on all the new videos I'm gonna be releasing this year. What are you waiting for? So if you're new to the channel, hi, my name is Alex. I'm the host and runner of this here channel called ATWin and all of its subsidiaries, whatever you say that word. And I am here to talk about everything Chainsaw Man and a few things in between. Now in this video, we're talking about the character that was introduced at the very end of Chainsaw Man Part 1 in the last chapter, this little girl called Nayuta. Now, if you don't know, spoilers for Chainsaw Man Part 1, Nayuta is the reincarnation of the control devil, Makima. Now, in the Part 1 of Chainsaw Man, Makima was the big antagonist of the entire series. She was the final boss. And when she died from being consumed by Denji, she actually was reincarnated in hell. And after she was killed in hell, she's reincarnated back on Earth. And this time, she is a little girl. So you might be asking yourself, well,
then that's not a new character, that's the same character, Makima.
You would be slightly incorrect at that notion. And that's because from all information I know about Chainsaw Man and its lore, when devils are killed and sent to hell, they, for the most part, retain their memories. They appear in hell and they remember most of their feats on Earth. But when they are killed and returned to Earth, basically their entire memories are wiped away. We know this because in some of the later chapters, Angel tells Aki this. He tells him that when devils die, they have no memory. And but most often than not, the one memory that they do have is the sound of a chainsaw. That kind of leans into a theory that I have that all the devils that Makima had control over were either devils that the Chainsaw Devil had killed and sent to Earth, or devils that wanted the Chainsaw Devil to eat them and to wipe them out of history so that they didn't have to reincarnate anymore. But that's an entirely other video. In this video, we're talking about Nayuta. So we know where she came from. She was Makima at one point, the control devil. She died by Denji consuming Makima. She couldn't reincarnate that way, so a loophole in her abilities. And of course, Makima being the control devil, one of the four horsemen of the hell, I guess you could say, not too many devils liked her. So being killed and probably in a very weakened state, she was killed again in hell and sent back to Earth. And this is where we find Nayuta. I believe she was found somewhere in Russia. It seems like, well, considering Russia takes up so much land on Earth, it makes sense that a lot of devils can be reincarnated there. But she was reincarnated in Russia. The Japanese devil hunters found her, took her back to Japan, gave her to Denji because they said, well, you were the only person that could possibly kill her the first time. If she gets out of control, you have to kill her a second time. Which is kind of fucked up because Fujimoto, the author of and creator of Chainsaw Man, is not writing Nayuta as a villain. She is going to be the next kind of little sister figure for Denji. Why do I say that? Well, I would have to talk about the one-shot that Nayuta is from. So a few years before Chainsaw Man was made, and even before Fire Punch was made, which is the manga that preceded Chainsaw Man, Tatsuki Fujimoto released a few one-shots. One of his best one-shots was called, I'm gonna butcher this name, Yogin no Nayuta, which translates to something. But this is a one-shot story about a 10-year-old girl named Nayuta, who is not human for sure. There was a prophecy from some witches or whatever years before she was born that said there's going to be a girl there's going to be a child that's born from hell. She's going to have magical powers and she's going to have horns that's going to rip open her mother's womb. Cut to the opening of this one shot and Nayuta is born to a woman who sadly passes, I believe, in the birth of the child, and a father and a big brother, named Denji from Chainsaw Man, and Kinji. The only difference in the name is the letter D. So the whole point of this one shot is that Nayuta is different. She has devil horns. There's a prophecy saying that she's going to destroy the world and that she has magical powers that let her summon swords, and she also has a tendency of killing animals. So what? Kinji, being the older brother, is supposed to take care of her. He's supposed to protect her. But Nayuta doesn't speak English very well. She only says gruesome words like death, blood, decapitation, just random bloody stuff. But she's trying to learn how to read and write. So that's kind of the whole point of the story that Fujimoto wrote. He was writing a story about a young man, probably in his early 20s, raising a sister figure in like 10 years old, and trying to have each other protect each other in a growingly dangerous, more dangerous world, because everyone wants to kill this kid, but no one can kill her because that would be murder. So you might be thinking, oh yeah, that sounds like a real nice and good one shot, but what does that have to do with Chainsaw Man? Well, just connect the dots. We have a character named Kinji and a character named Denji. It's basically the same character. And we have two characters that look exactly the same and they have the same name as in Nayuta. They have the same body structure, face structure, and the same eyes, which are actually the same eyes that Makima has. So you might be asking yourself, what's the point of this video? Get to the point. Why is Nayuta going to be such an important character? Well, I believe Nayuta is going to be such an important character because of the dynamic that she represents in Chainsaw Man. So cool. Power. The whole point of Denji's relationship with Aki, Power, and Makima was to build a dynamic of a normal teenage boy's life. You have a sister figure in Power, an older brother figure in Aki. You have a motherly / romantic figure, which is a whole different Greek philosophy type of messed up, in Makima. Basically, this colliding to say that part 1 of Chainsaw Man was a story that followed Denji trying to have a normal life when it is impossible to have a normal life when you're a Chainsaw Man. And that's where I believe part 2 is going to head similarly, where it's going to be, how possibly can Denji have a normal life when he, like, as in being a normal teenage boy, going to school, having friends, when he A, has to raise a little girl in Nayuta, and B, he is Chainsaw Man, a famous devil hunter, devil human hybrid that like the entire world knows. I think that's gonna, Fujimoto is hilarious, man. His comedy is so messed up. I believe that's gonna open up just a bucket of worms that I'm going to die laughing at. And I think the key to that is Nayuta. With Nayuta, with being the control devil, who knows how many other devils are going to try to hunt her down, let alone Denji, the chainsaw devil. There's a number of devils that want him dead as well. And then you throw in the aspect of Denji still wanting a girlfriend, still wanting to go to high school, learning how to read and write and all that stuff, as well as trying to keep his promise to Power. And then basically, possibly getting revenge for Aki. So yeah, altogether, Nayuta, I feel, is going to be my new favorite character in part 2 of Chainsaw Man when we hopefully see it in the end of this year of 2022. But tell me what you think. Do you think Nayuta is going to be important? Do you think she's going to be killed off in the first chapter or something? Let me know down in the comments, or hit me up on Twitter so we can talk there. But yeah, this has been Alex over at ATWin. Please, please, please share this video, leave a like on this video, and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you can continuously watch me in the upcoming weeks. Hopefully, this is a PSA announcement now. Hopefully I'm going to be releasing one video a week for the next year. That's not a fucking New Year's resolution, because those things are stupid. That is a calculated goal, and this is the first step. So, support me. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.